As Alex Chen lay on the stage, a sharp stabbing pain shot through his chest, hot and real. Consciousness returned not as a gentle dawn, but as a cold, crippling fear. He picked up a tarnished hand mirror. The face staring back was not his own. Suddenly, a translucent blue screen flickered into existence before his eyes. A list of past roles and skills populated the glowing screen. "Ah, you're awake, young Master Ray. You gave us all such a scare." Flashes of a family life that wasn't his slammed into his conscious mind. "So the boy lives. See that he is no longer a burden, Eileen. He always looks pale, he's a weakling." Desperate to escape the stifling manor, Ray slipped out into a dilapidated garden. A low growl cut through the silence. A monstrous wolf-like creature pushed through the brush. The paralyzing fear was forcibly suppressed, replaced by an ice-cold tactical calm. He hurled the rock at the beast's paw, sidestepped the jaws, and thrust forward. The beast collapsed in a heap. Silence fell over the garden. For the first time, Alex was terrified not of what lay before him, but of what lay within. The silence that followed the beast's death was heavy, leaving behind a terrified child trapped in a new body. A ragged sob broke free from his throat as the world blurred through tears. "Young Master Ray, gods above, are you hurt? It's all right. You're safe now. We'll get you back to the keep." "Oh, my baby. My poor sweet boy. Look at him, crying because he probably fell and scraped his knee. What is the meaning of this? The hound, is it dead? And you did this?" A cold dread settled in as the system interface remained a silent observer in his mind. "Ray, tell me again what happened." "I was scared, Father. I wandered into the far side of the garden near the woods. The dog was big, and its eyes were red. I remembered what you told Corbin, that Crofts never show their backs. Lucky? He's lying." Silence. "Yes, Ray, very lucky indeed. It seems I have underestimated you." The scheming persona faded, leaving Ray alone in the cold silence of his room with lingering paranoia. "I traded one cage for another, more gilded and far more dangerous." The next day, Lord Alistair's interest took form through a grizzled master-at-arms. "This is a fool's errand. The boy's body is too weak." "System, it's time for a more academic approach." The eccentric scholar archetype engaged high-speed reading and deductive reasoning. Unfamiliar linguistic script appeared before him, but math was universal. Asset liquidation, sale of family silver, proceeds funding ongoing debt payments. They are a traditional house attempting to pay a massive debt to a ruthless power. A pattern emerged with terrifying clarity, exposing the Argent Hand Guild. "Young Master, what are you doing here?" Beneath a loose floorboard, he discovered a hidden leather-bound journal. He traded our future for a cure, damning the rest of us to a slow ruin. "My life, damn them. I am the millstone dragging my family into total ruin." Suddenly, a familiar blue system screen flickered to life, offering a dangerous list of new archetypes. "Young Master, are you all right?" "No, I'm a parasite. I need to lie. I need to be charming." "It is a sad house, young Master. But not all stories are finished yet." The next morning, the tension at the breakfast table was a living entity. "Corbin, you are of age. To secure our future, an alliance must be made." "Alistair, what have you done?" "House Thorn, they're merchants. I will not be sold like livestock." "You will. This family will not fall, not while I draw breath." The days that followed were a flurry of frantic, pathetic activity to fool House Thorn. He must see that even our youngest son is a Croft who can face down danger. "I understand, Father. The stage is set for a new play." Greywood keep transformed into a stage for a desperate play as preparations for the Thorns began. Here, desperation was the only authentic thing. Block, parry, assess. Leverage is the only path to victory in these grueling sessions. Corbin watched from the sidelines, an arrogant smirk plastered across his face. "Father wants you to help clear the old watchtower." Ray felt a knot of pure fear tighten in his stomach. It was a trap. "Don't be a coward. Father is watching us right now." A hidden rope trailed down the back of the wall, tied to a jutting gargoyle. System activation requested. Threat level, lethal. Selecting optimal archetype. With a flick of the wrist, it threw a handful of dirt directly at Corbin's eyes. Thud smash. The gargoyle crashed into the ground where Ray had just been standing. It slipped. The stone fell by accident. The mask receded. Ray slammed back into his own body, shaking uncontrollably. "I didn't choose that. It was chosen for me. It moved my body." System error. Host psychological stability compromised. Compromised? I think the warranty on my sanity just expired. Recommendation: initiate emergency system upgrade for conscious control. Show me this immersion setting. Partial immersion active. The archetype functions as an internal advisor. "All right, kid. So you want to learn to drive instead of being taken for a ride?" Misdirection and sleight of hand. "Let's test this out." Relax. Your hands shouldn't look like they're hiding something. Skill attempt. Misdirection. Performance evaluation. Crude. You're too focused on mechanics. Distract the mark. Look at the door. Performance evaluation. Adequate. Mastery gain plus 5%. Young Master Ray, your mother was worried you didn't eat much. Thank you, Rena. That looks wonderful. I wasn't a passenger. I was an actor, and I have a role to play. The honey cake tasted of victory and agency, sweet and grounding. Adequate. Adequate will have to do. The Thorns arrive as an audience. Ray, my dear, it is time. Lord Thorn's carriage has been sighted. He suppressed his empathy. A different mask was required now. Remember your role, the prodigious, yet humble, youngest son. Lord Titus Thorn and his daughter, Lady Kaelin, have arrived. Alistair, my good man. Greywood Keep, as magnificent as the stories say. He opens with blatant flattery. A simple return of flattery is required. What if I run 2 tracks at once? System, give me the gritty detective. Warning, concurrent partial immersion initiated. High strain technique. And this is my youngest, Ray, the boy I wrote to you about. Stand straight. Innocent gaze. Acknowledge his station. He's not looking at a kid, he's appraising livestock. Don't flinch. It is an honor to welcome you to our home, Lord Thorn. Skill attempt, etiquette and protocol. Performance evaluation, adept. Huh, by the saints, Alistair. He has the Croft manners, but a merchant's sense. The guards. Professional soldiers, sigil on their pauldrons, a snarling gold wolf's head. Memory access, the eccentric scholar. Entry 404, Gilded Wolves Security Services. Recipient, Argent Hand. Delivery address, 42, Silver Street. Could it be that the Gilded Wolves aren't just mercenaries? Are they the hand's muscle? Performance evaluation, inspired. Trait unlocked, cross-contextual analysis. His gaze flickered to Kaelin. The mask dropped, revealing raw fear. The price of this deal was far more than just gold. The grand dining hall of Greywood Keep was a masterpiece of illusion, illuminated by the wavering light of 3 silver candelabras. The seating arrangement is a tactical map. Your father sits at the head as a declaration of authority. Forget the postures. Look at his trembling hand reaching for wine. You can feel the weight of generations in these very stones, a legacy my gold can't buy. The Croft name has defended this region for 5 centuries. That is our strength. I trust your journey was not too taxing, my lady. The roads were clear. My father ensured our protection. Your father tells me you are quick of mind, boy. What does a son of House Croft study? Whoa there, kid. Trying to juggle 3 of us? That's a bold play. Make it count. Pain lanced through his skull, but through it, he found a sliver of terrifying clarity. Your guards are very brave, Lord Thorn. I saw their picture in the registry book. The Gilded Wolves and the Argent Hand share the exact same address at number 42, Silver Street. The silence that fell over the table was as sudden and heavy as a block of stone. A warm, wet trickle ran from his nose as the candelabras blurred into streaks of fire. Ray. He dropped his fork with a clatter, his head slumped forward as darkness crept in. The world dissolved into wavering light and distorted sound as my fork clattered against the stone floor. Ray. The coppery taste of blood filled my mouth, while the heavy oak dining table caught my weight. The dining hall erupted into chaotic reactions from everyone present at the table. What fresh madness is this? He's burning up. His fever has returned. I told you he wasn't well enough for this. Don't just fall. Commit to the bit. Sell the tragedy. Rena, get in here. Help your Lady Eileen take the young master to his room. Now. The maid hurried into the dining room as the Lord yelled in fury. As they carried me away, I looked back to see the dinner party completely shattered. Lord Thorn stood red-faced, speaking in tense low whispers to Lord Alistair. Fetch a basin of cool water and fresh towels, Rena. Oh, my poor boy. It was all too much for you. I knew it. That dreadful potion left a weakness in you forever. That was a bad turn you took, young master. I'm tired. I'll stay until you sleep. A strange thing just happened, young master. As I was leaving the kitchens, I was stopped by Lady Kaelin. Lady Kaelin? What did she say? She looked around to make sure no one was listening, and she said, your young master notices things that even grown men miss. Tell him the wolf is just a dog of the hand. The wolf is just a dog of the hand. It was a confirmation and a warning. The Gilded Wolves belong to the Argent Hand, and Lord Thorn knows I exposed them. Moments after Rena left, the bedroom door opened again with a sharp click. The mask had dropped completely. My father stood before me not as a worried parent, but as an antagonist. Your mother believes you had a fainting spell. You will allow her to believe that, but you and I will have the truth. Lord Thorn and his daughter have departed. My plans are in ruins because of a single, inexplicable comment from an 8-year-old boy. You said you read the Kingdom Registry, but that book is more than 1,000 pages long. Why did you look specifically for the Gilded Wolves? A child does not make that connection by accident. So tell me, who told you to look? Who told you to look? The question hung in the air of the small, dimly lit bedroom, sharp and cold as a shard of ice. Ray reached inward for the familiar system, but found only dark, terrifying silence. He was completely alone. I don't feel well, Father. I have no doubt. Curiosity does not breed conspiracy theories in an 8-year-old mind. You guessed the Gilded Wolves and Argent Hand are the same. Who told you? Master Theron told me during our training sessions. He said the wolves are ruthless mercenaries. If I ever saw one, I should run because they only collect blood. And the ledger? The address? Theron does not handle my records. Your study door was open. I saw 42 Silver Street written in the open book. Theron, that old fool and his soldier tales. He has no idea what he's done. Alistair turned away, his cold fury collapsing into profound, desperate weariness. Listen to me, boy. I am not paying the wolves. I am paying the Argent Hand. The confession spilled out like a torrent of sheer despair, shattering Ray's perception. They control half the continent. The wolves are their enforcers sent when debts are late. Lord Thorn came to formalize our servitude, to trap our family forever. When you named the Gilded Wolves, you signaled to secret agents that an 8-year-old boy knows their identity. Ray felt the blood drain completely from his face as the sheer weight of his mistake hit him. Theron will be reassigned. You will recover and be an obedient, unremarkable child. You are a secret that could destroy us all. Rest, Ray. Play your part. The door clicked shut, plunging the room into near darkness. He was left alone with the terrifying void. Fine. Places, everyone. The show must go on. 2 weeks following the disastrous dinner were the quietest and most terrifying of Ray's life. He played his part with desperate focus, trapped in a cold, suffocating silence. Young master, I thought you should know. Master Theron is gone. Your father dismissed him this morning. Master Theron is gone. Alistair is cleaning house. Theron was the alibi. Now he's been erased from the board. A cold knot formed in Ray's stomach. Theron was a witness his father had ruthlessly eliminated. Searching inward for the familiar blue screens, he found nothing but a silent void. The fear that his system was lost burned like a cold weight. There's the little princeling who cost me a treasury. Still enjoying your sickbed? Corbin took every opportunity to sneer, his envy now curdled into a quiet, venomous hatred. On the 18th day, as Ray sat listlessly by his window, a deep, thrumming vibration hummed at the base of his skull. The air in front of him shimmered, and bright text burned into existence against the gray sky. It was logging my memory? Even when it was off, it was watching. The system evaluated his performance during the confrontation with his father, declaring his core acting talent adept. Adept. I did that. No archetype. No script. Just me. A new passive skill unlocked. Cognitive Aegis, a neural buffer forged in extreme mental overload, reducing future strain significantly. Your survival, and ours, now depends on how well you can play the part of a simple child. His father's stern warning echoed in his head, but Ray's fear was now replaced by cold, sharp focus. I need information. I need to know everything about the Argent Hand, their methods, their weaknesses, their reach. His father's study was no longer just a room of family history. It was enemy territory, and he had to find a way back inside. Confronted by his own weakness, young Alex recognized that while his system offered immense knowledge, his small physical body remained a delicate liability. The mind is ready, but this fragile 9-year-old frame is terribly weak. All right, kitten. First lesson, lower your center. Don't trust the ground to catch you when you fall. I can hold this stance. I have to. Your parry is an absolute embarrassment. Are you trying to invite the enemy to slice you down? Wielding a simple wooden broom handle like a heavy practice sword, Alex stumbled forward under the intense martial conditioning. Physical limits reached, but I'm gaining control over the pain. Collapsing onto the cool floor, sweat dripping from his pale forehead, a glowing blue system window manifested before his eyes. Fighting is for chumps, kid. A real artist uses fast hands and sharp wits. Show me what you've got. Time to switch methods. Let's see if I can master this misdirection. Relax your posture. The art of the grift is looking like you're doing nothing at all. Make that stone part of your hand. Hour after hour, the smooth river stone clattered against the floor as Alex refined his sleight of hand under spectral guidance. Empty the mind. Emotion is a fatal flaw. Find the absolute silence at the center of the storm. Suppress every stray thought. Focus only on breathing. Still playing the sickly little mouse, brother? You ruined everything at dinner, and I know it. Without warning, the heavy door flew open with a violent crash as Corbin burst into the dim room. Though panic surged instantly, the stoic assassin's mental discipline absorbed the adrenaline shock, enveloping Alex in absolute, icy stillness. Observe, dismiss, remain entirely unshakable. What are you looking at? Answer me. Confronted by an empty, apex predator stare from a child half his size, Corbin's arrogant posture wavered in sudden hesitation. You're a complete freak. Completely disarmed by the oppressive silence, the older brother backed out, and slammed the heavy wooden door shut in retreat. As the oppressive tension lifted, a radiant blue notification panel materialized in the dark room, announcing a monumental breakthrough. Psychological fortitude unlocked. The quiet work is paying off. Higher with the block. Are you trying to stop a sword or welcome it in for tea? I weigh 40 pounds. This heavy leather atlas is literally a fifth of my entire body weight. Excuses are for gravestones. Keep holding it high. The physical gains were agonizingly slow, but his mental sleight of hand training yielded crucial breakthroughs. When the physical strain became too much, he retreated to the sanctuary of the dusty manor library. Fascinating. The cataloging system here is based on the pre-unification model of the Second Kingdom. We need context on the world and the major political players. Yes, of course. Geopolitical context is the bedrock of all strategic analysis. Valoria views magic with extreme suspicion. Fools. One cannot dismiss a fundamental force of the universe. Cross-referencing histories, Ray analyzed Eldoria, a realm bound to magic, where his own family held only distant provincial nobility. The Argent Hand and Gilded Wolves thrive in Solara, where gold is god and betrayal is just a business expense. The world is getting bigger and far more dangerous. It's time to scout our target. All right, change lenses. We're done with history. Let's inspect the crime scene. Let's see the layout. The library gave us history, but the study holds the real evidence. Subject, Lord Alistair Croft. Creature of habit. Enters at 9 a.m., exits at 12 p.m., re-enters at 1 p.m. Sitting on the main hall floor with wooden toy blocks, Ray acted like an innocent child while mapping the schedules. Complication, Rena the maid. She enters at 12:15 with a skeleton key and leaves at 12:45. She's the X factor, the potential witness, and the alarm. We have a 15-minute window after she leaves before he returns. But we can't get past her. What are you building, my dear? A castle. And we're about to figure out how to sneak through the front gate. Reconnaissance was complete. The layout and schedule were solved, but the biggest obstacle remained. How does a 9-year-old boy enter a locked study in 15 minutes? I need a deception expert. The variable must be neutralized. A quick, quiet takedown. Subdue her, hide the body. No, I am not a killer. I am just a 9-year-old boy trying to get past a grown woman. You want a good grift? Keep it simple. The girl is kind, right? So use it. Watching Rena meticulously repair the ancient family tapestry gave Ray his answer. Not a household crisis, but a crisis for its history. Step 1. Trace the tapestry while casually hiding a sharp, rusted nail pulled from under his floorboard. Easy does it, kid. You belong here. Just a curious boy. Make it look natural. System notification, larceny skill unlocked. Performance evaluation, inspired. Mastery gain, misdirection plus 20%. The mission comes first, kid. Sentiment is a luxury. It has to look like a real catastrophe. Ray dripped the thick black ink onto the flagstones and squeezed the last drop onto the torn threads to guarantee maximum panic. Father, you had better come see this. No. Gods no. The ink all spoil. Rena, this is irreplaceable. Forget your other duties. Do not leave this spot until you have halted this stain. Yes, my lord. Right away, my lord. The guard is drawn off her post by a master deception. Now, the scholar goes to work. You careless girl. This tapestry is irreplaceable. Do not leave this spot until you halt the spread of this stain. Yes, my lord. Right away, my lord. I used her as a pawn. Her fear is real. This isn't a performance. I have to save Rena. The path to the study is clear. New objective. Get the proof and clear Rena's name. The hand must not shake. Emotion is the enemy of precision. It is a simple warded lock. Apply consistent tension to align the tumblers. Focus. Work with the limitations. Persuade it, don't force it. 50 gold sovereigns for stables with 2 old mares. The market rate is 5 maximum. He's not paying for services. He's funding his own surveillance network. 5,000 gold sovereigns to the Red Lily Trading Company? That's money laundering. The Argent Hand is cleaning dirty money through father's books. Well now, look what we have here, a patsy of fall guy. Or in this case, a fall rat. I need to construct a scene. An alternate explanation that clears Rena entirely. Act 1. Knock over the travel inkwell. Act 2. Create a trail of crushed nut dust leading to the floorboard hole. Act 3. Tiny paw prints in the hearth ash. A plausible, domestic pest problem. Father, there was a rat in your study. A big one. It knocked over the ink. Enough. It was not your fault. It seems we have a vermin problem. See to it. Thank you, my lord. The footage is shot. Now I need to edit the narrative and organize every piece of evidence. In the silence of his room, 9-year-old Ray Croft reconstructed every document from his memory palace. Valerian steel is military contraband, kid. If the syndicate lost 3 shipments, someone is terrified. That's real leverage. The weight of these secrets is heavy, but it's our only weapon. Young master, may I come in? I brought a small tray with warm milk and honey cakes. Yes, Rena, come in. I am so glad it was only rats, young master. I was terrified a stain on the tapestry would ruin everything. The rats are bad. You don't need to worry anymore. Her gratitude felt like a bitter irony. Ray had secured an ally, but at the cost of deceit. I saved her job, but I lied to her. It was necessary, yet it burns. Later that evening, Ray watched his mother standing near the window, swaying gently in twilight. This constant dizziness, will it ever leave me? I hate this role. It's not a hero, it's a witness to pain. System, activate world-weary healer. A heavy wave of profound empathy washed over him as the new archetype bonded with his consciousness. Observe the patient. Hand tremors, mild jaundice, sluggish pupils. She is suffering from dependency on a sedative toxin. She's being poisoned or poisoning herself. The next morning, Ray quietly acquired a sample of the green dried herb from his mother's vanity. I need to identify this plant in the estate library before it's too late. New world data source acquired. Cross-referencing host's knowledge. Plant identified as Night's Whisper. It induces liver wither and mind fraying. A slow, insidious poison disguised as peace. Can she be cured? Is there any way to save her from this addiction? Sudden stoppage will kill her. We need a palliative remedy. Willow bark, milk thistle, and moon petal. Moon petal only grows in total darkness. Where in this decaying keep will I find a flower like that? With the diagnosis complete and a cure identified, Ray accepted the healer's heavy burden. The knowledge of the cure was not a comfort. It was a tight cage trapping Ray in agonizing inaction. I have the formula, but my sickly 9-year-old body keeps me locked inside this miserable keep. Confined by his father's watching eyes, Ray felt like a physician with tied hands, unable to gather herbs. I can't wander to the watchtower or the stream. And the moon petal grows only in dark, impossible places. Watching his weak mother stumble through the courtyard garden, a desperate necessity blazed within him. I need an accomplice. Rena is my only friend, but using her kindness feels like a terrible betrayal. The patient is dying. The ethics of the method are secondary to the preservation of life. She trusts you, kid. Trust is the key. You don't get mad at a key for opening a lock. Fine. If I have to be the villain to save her, give me the black hat. I'll take the bad reviews. The decision was forged. Ray prepared to execute a masterful performance of pure emotional manipulation. That evening, as Rena brought his supper tray, Ray launched into a series of harsh, racking coughs. Young master, your cough has returned. It gets worse at night. I have trouble breathing. I will fetch some honeyed water right away. Please wait. The water helps for a moment, but it always comes back. I don't want to be sick forever. I read an ancient book. It said herbal teas like willow bark and milk thistle clean weak blood. I know those plants. Willow bark is in the kitchen, and milk thistle grows near the old watchtower. Could you get some for me? Just a little, so I can see it? I want to get better and be strong, Rena. It would be no trouble at all. I will fetch them tomorrow when I have a spare moment. A brilliant holographic system banner materialized before Ray's eyes, signaling a flawless performance. Skill unlocked, rapid rapport building. Social defenses bypassed through emotional leverage. There was one other flower, the moon petal. It only grows in pitch-dark places like deep-root cellars. Do we have any dark cellars here, Rena? I would love to see a flower that grows in total darkness. There's the old root cellar beneath the kitchens. It's dark and damp. I will look for the key for you. She tucked him in gently and departed, leaving Ray alone with the lingering scent of his untouched meal. Ray sat alone in the quiet chamber, watching his unwitting accomplice walk down the dim hallway. I turn my kindest friend into my personal agent. The web of lies is woven, and I sit right at its center. For 3 long days, Alex was a coiled spring, his mind racing while confined in his room. The Argent Hand sees us as isolated and weak. We need to create a threat they cannot ignore. You don't need a counterbalance, kid. You need a ghost. Someone so rich and dangerous that nobody dares to touch him. We need an invented patron. A casting call for a mysterious noble power that doesn't even exist. Young master, I have them. I found the glowing flower in the old cellar. It was growing alone in the darkest corner, glowing softly like magic. Thank you, Rena. You are truly a good friend. At midnight, Alex activated the healer persona to compound the dangerous, delicate mixture. Measure by eye, grind the bark, and trust the process. He combined the ground bark with mint leaves and honey, carefully preparing the substitute dose. With the compound finished, it was time for the stealthy, dangerous swap. If I drop the prop, the scene fails, and if it fails, she dies. The next morning, Alex watched quietly from the doorway as his mother prepared her morning tea. This bitter ritual, may it bring me peace today. Opening night is here. Now, we wait for the verdict. Ray stood frozen in the shadowed doorway, watching his mother lift the cup to her lips. Drink it, please let the palliative work. Lady Eileen frowned slightly, puzzled by the strange flavor, but her dull palate noticed little else as she set the teacup down. This tea tastes somewhat unusual today, no matter. By late afternoon, the headache became a violent migraine. She lay trembling under shallow breathing. The crisis point has arrived. I have to administer the moon petal infusion right now. Rena, my chest is tight again. The Eldorian herbal book said moon petal tea calms the lungs. Young master, lie still. I will prepare the tea immediately. Thank you, Rena. Mother is suffering from her headache too. Could you bring a cup to her as well? That is so thoughtful of you, young master. I will deliver it right away. System notifications flared in Ray's vision, acknowledging his clever execution. Young master, your mother is sleeping peacefully. Her shaking has completely stopped. Relief was short-lived. Through the library window, Ray spotted a strange, solitary rider entering the courtyard. He carries no banner, yet the guards treat him with terrified deference. That's no merchant. Look at how he scans the perimeter. No wasted movement. That's a syndicate assessor, a human scalpel. Lord Alistair escorted the mysterious visitor directly to his private study. Emergency production meeting. System, activate triconcurrent partial immersion. Pressure surged inside his mind as three distinct personalities manifested at once. The Argent Hand considers us an unstable asset. They mean to evaluate our servitude. We can't fight them with gold or armies. We need fear. We need a boogeyman from the old world. An assessor deals in cold facts. How do you fight facts? With faith and terror, pal. A myth so terrifying they daren't test if it's real. Deactivating the immersion sent a throbbing ache through Ray's skull, but a blue system screen appeared with rewards. Cognitive aegis improved. The system is conditioning my mind to endure. The path ahead was clear. His invented patron would not be a lord or merchant, but something far more terrifying. He will be an ancient power. He will be a magus. For 2 days, Silas remained like a ghost in Greywood Keep. An auditor from a mercantile league, Lord Alistair claimed. Please, Silas, sample the roast. Our kitchen does its absolute best under these circumstances. Lady Eileen's clear eyes followed the tense conversation, vibrant and healed, while young Ray observed the guest attentively. His composure is unnerving. He is not here to negotiate. Subject is a field agent for the Argent Hand, a walking surveillance device. He misses nothing. And with Lorik gone, the lads are struggling. A terrible accident, a fall from the hayloft in the dead of night. The guest paused his knife, a fractional stillness, and the barest hint of a cold smile touched his lips. Rena, may we go see the horses? I haven't seen them in a long time. Of course, young master. A bit of fresh air will do you good. This is a big horse. Did Lorik train her? My father said he had an accident. That ain't what happened, little master. There was no fall. Men came in dark cloaks 2 nights ago, gave his wife silver, and told her to flee. Lorik was erased. Information gathering successful. Mastery gain plus 15%. System, activate triconcurrent partial immersion. Lying in darkness, Ray invoked 3 powerful internal personas to forge a plan for survival. The assessor's presence accelerates the timeline. They are preparing to make their final move. So our ghost needs to feel real now. We need a legend and a backstory they can't disprove. House Lumina, a minor noble house from the southern mountains, masters of ethereal weaving who vanished centuries ago. It's a dead franchise, but the IP is valuable. We just need to reboot it. System, deactivate immersion. System, notification, cognitive aegis, strain reduction increased. Research acumen and deception improved. The magus of House Lumina. My phantom protector is born. For 3 days, the presence of the assessor named Silas settled over Greywood Keep like a choking dust. He watched everything with cold, silent calculation. The entire household remained on edge, tension heavy in the air. Lord Alistair's forced smiles faded, while young Corbin glared in hostile silence. At breakfast, Lady Eileen showed a startling recovery, discussing keep supplies with vibrant energy. Silas observed her with calculating intrigue. Another entry for his report. Unexplained return to health. The variables in this house are multiplying quickly, kid. That is a remarkably heavy book for a boy of your age. It has pictures of dragons. I was a boy once. I like dragon stories too. I hear your master-at-arms told you tales of brave soldiers. He is probing your alibi. Stick to the story about Theron. Do not deviate. Master Theron told the best stories. About the Valorians and knights who use magic. Indeed. Did he ever tell you stories about the Argent Hand? It's a trap. Play the confused, bookish child. Show no fear. The Argent Hand. No, but I saw that name in the kingdom's registry book. Your mother seems to be feeling much better lately. It is a wonderful thing to see. She is. Rena says she is sleeping better. I am glad she is not so sad anymore. You are a remarkable child, Ray Croft. Continue to love your stories. System notification recorded. Covert interrogation defended with inspired rating. Mastery gained in deception, performance, and psychological fortitude. The next morning, the assessor departed as quietly as he had arrived, leaving behind a profound sense of dread. The first step to prove the ghost of House Lumina is real is to show someone its hoard of gold. The assessor Silas had departed, leaving behind a cold, suffocate fear that gripped the entire keep. I can't just sit here and wait for their verdict. I need to change the equation entirely. We cannot produce a literal treasure chest. The evidence must be subtle, yet undeniable. Forget subtle. You need an impossible piece of evidence, something so weird they can't ignore it. An ancient electrum coin of House Lumina. Gold, silver, and copper blended together perfectly. A forged coin. An impossible artifact to trick the Argent hand. Ray gathered silver buttons and copper wire, but gold required a far more desperate measure. Gold leaf on ancient library books. My apologies to the authors, but this is survival. Your pulse is erratic. Control your breath. For seconds in, for seconds out. Focus. Inhale, exhale. Hands steady. No room for errors. Using a hollow reed as a makeshift blowpipe, he stoked the fireplace coals until they glowed blindingly white. Now, add the silver, the copper, and finally, the gold leaf dust. Every prop tells a story. This isn't currency, it's history. With meticulous care, he carved the stylized open eye of House Lumina into the sand mold. Using wooden sticks as tongs, he lifted the white-hot crucible and poured the molten electrum liquid. Steady, don't spill a single drop. System notification, basic forgery skill unlocked. Deception and larceny mastery increased significantly. It worked. A pale, silvery gold coin with the mark of forgotten light. The discovery must be controlled. It needs to land directly in the hands of an Argent hand asset. Precisely. Someone whose report will reach the highest ranks immediately. Tiber the Fletcher. His shop is a hub for guards and hunters. Rumors there spread like wildfire. Tiber is the mark. Now I just need a reason to visit his shop without raising suspicion. His eyes drifted to the old practice bow in the corner, its string frayed and worn. A frayed bowstring. The perfect excuse to visit the village Fletcher. Trapped within the cold stone walls of Greywood Keep, Ray felt the cage tightening around him every single day. I need a lever to get out. The courtier will know how to play this. Ray, my love, what is it? Are you feeling unwell again? I'm just tired of being inside, mother. My bowstring is frayed, but I cannot even go out. He needs air, Alistair. He cannot be kept locked away like this. He is recovering. The world outside these walls is not safe. Then let Rena take him to the village for just 1 hour. Fine, 1 hour. Rena is not to let him out of her sight. Isn't it a lovely day, young master? Yes, it's very big. Fascinating. The atmospheric composition appears to have a higher oxygen content. Potent flora. Relax, kid. In and out. We're just a sweet little lordling taking a stroll. Target is Tiber. He's sharp. Underestimate him, and this whole thing goes sideways. Iron strap door, heavy shutters. This isn't just a shop, it's a safe house. Lady Rena. A young lord must practice his archery. The world is a dangerous place. Good day, Tiber. The young master's practice bow needs a new string. So pretty, oh. I'm so sorry. Watch yourself, little lord, those points are sharp. Ow, I hurt my foot. Oh, you poor thing, let me see. We should go, Rena. My ankle hurts. Operation, the Fletcher's mark completed. Performance evaluation, inspired. Deception gained plus 20%. You have unlocked the charismatic conman skill, plausible deniability. The seed was planted, and the real game has finally begun. For 4 long days, Alex Croft played the part of the quiet, recovering child, concealing the storm of impatience surging within his mind. The hunter does not pace before the trap. He waits, he watches, he trusts the trap is well made. Impatience is a scent the prey can smell, stillness is victory. Rena, my bowstring, did Tiber ever fix it? I forgot to ask him to. Oh, I had forgotten all about that with everything that has happened lately. It is the oddest thing, young master. The whole village is talking about Tiber. They say he found a strange, ancient coin of pale, silvery gold. A lucky coin. That sounds nice. A blue system notification flashed before Alex's eyes, confirming his successful manipulation of information. System, analyze this current mental state. Why is the presence of multiple archetypes no longer inducing significant cognitive strain? System analysis. The state is defined as ambient presence. Cognitive aegis has fortified neural pathways, allowing passive advisory access without mental backlash. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. A pale gold coin, heavier than it ought to be, with a funny eye symbol stamped on it. You give them a good hook, kid, and they will write the rest of the script for you. Word of mouth is going viral. Our Fletcher has become the village spectacle, blabbering about some strange coin. Superstitious nonsense, as if scrap metal changes fortune. The rumor has breached the keep's walls. Alistair dismisses it, which is the perfect cover. The report is already on its way. The second piece of evidence must suggest a unique craft. House Lumina was renowned for ethereal weaving. I will paint the symbol of House Lumina onto an ancient scrap of silk using glowing moonpetal pigment. We just have to lose it in a dusty hallway. We create the evidence, and let the world handle the delivery. The new plan is set. We will weave a lie, not of gold, but of light. The rumor of the Fletcher's coin was spreading through the keep like wildfire, but a single coin was just an anomaly. To stop the Argent Hand, I need to create a pattern. A second relic proving forgotten power. You look so pale, Ray. Are you sure you want to go up to the upper floors to read? I just want a quiet place, Mother. Don't worry, I will be careful. Her waking hours are clearer now thanks to the secret palliative. Guilt and pride mix within me. Now, onto the dusty upper floors. Time to unlock the past. Lockpicking skill activated. Steady hands, silent touch. The lock clicked open with a rusty groan. Perfect. This room is a tomb of forgotten glory. Old chests, broken furniture, moth-eaten tapestry. This faded scrap will work. Nobody will ever notice a small piece missing. The essence is volatile. There is a latent magical energy here. Grinding it will destroy its light. Then I will crush the petals gently into gum, Arabic, and water. It's shimmering, like painting with captured moonlight. Absolutely stunning. Focusing my mind with concurrent immersion. Stoic assassin and world-weary healer combined. First the open eye of knowledge, then the 7 rays of light. When I snuff out the candle, the sigil blazes to life in the pitch darkness. A perfect relic of the lost House Lumina. Don't plant it directly. Let chaos theory do the work. A gust of wind is the ultimate accomplice. Understood. Sitting near the library window, waiting for the right moment. Rena is shaking rugs in the courtyard below. Here comes the wind. Oops, knocked over my books. And out goes the silk. It lands softly in a shadowy, moss-filled corner. Untraceable back to me. Release the teaser. Let the fans speculate. Let the hype build. I have created a whisper of gold, and now a lie of pure light. The legend of House Lumina has just begun. Weeks bled into one another at Greywood Keep. Lady Eileen's sudden recovery brought a strange, fragile hope to the halls. Meanwhile, Ray played his part flawlessly, spending endless hours inside the dusty library, secretly conditioning his internal archetypes. Young master, you will not believe what I found. The wind uncovered it in the moss near the west parapet flagstones. What is it? Look, in the dark, it glows just like the moon petal flower. These are not normal things, young master. You are touched by an ancient magic. The hook is set. She's bought the premise completely. What is the meaning of this? Old magic. I thought it had fled these lands. Mastery gain. Plausible deniability plus 15%. The discovery created a powerful, organic ripple across the keep. Hob was injured at the old quarry. A boulder came loose and shattered his leg. A loose boulder in a stable quarry? There are no coincidences in this game. They found this black raven feather tied with silver wire right beside him. The Argent Hand is sending a clear message. We see your ripples. Stop. The time for planting subtle clues is over. The game of whispers must end now. Next time the Argent Hand comes calling, my phantom patron will no longer be a ghost. The black raven feather tied with silver wire was a declaration of war. Placed neatly on Hobbs' body, the signature message reached everyone in Greywood Keep. Fear gripped the keep. Lord Alistair locked himself away, realizing the Argent Hand could strike anyone at any moment. They've taken the bait. They sent a warning. They're confused and want answers before burning the house down. Control is no longer sufficient. We must dominate it. We must present a performance so total it replaces their suspicion with fear. We must weave in legal arguments from the Second Kingdom and obscure magical theories. The tone must be ancient, unshakable authority. The condescension of a true predator. With clumsy hands, Ray wrote words of layered intimidation, detailing the ancient Lumina compact and complex ethereal resonance. Next came the props. Using crushed nightshade paste and a river stone, Ray carved a mysterious warding amulet. Now that's a statement. You're throwing their own signature right back in their face. By mastering psychological warfare, Ray unlocked psychological parry, preparing to turn his enemy's tactics against them. The day arrived. A plain black carriage entered the courtyard, carrying a severe man in dark magistrate robes. Finally, the lead villain enters the scene. Severe. Authoritative. He's here to monologue. Your father requests your presence in the Great Hall, young master. At once. Tucking the warding amulet into his pocket, Ray walked down the silent hall. The show was about to begin. Your father requests your presence in the Great Hall, young master. He says to come at once. The summons echoed through the keep like a death knell. Ray felt the cold air in his lungs like glass. The show is about to begin. I don't need immersion, my own acting, and the inner committee will suffice. The Great Hall had been transformed into an arena. At its center sat Malachi, radiating cold, intellectual authority. Beside him stood Lord Alistair, slick with sweat and looking utterly defeated. So this is the child. For weeks we have tracked anomalies, an untraceable electrum coin and fabric woven with light infusion magic. Explain this, Lord Croft. I don't know. My father cannot answer you, because the explanation you seek does not concern House Croft. And why is that? Your house is insolvent. It concerns our new patron. I am here to speak on his behalf as his herald. A patron? What lord would take on such a massive financial liability? Our patron is no mere lord. He is the last scion of House Lumina. I have never heard of this House Lumina. Of course you have not. They withdrew during the Unification Wars, etched only in esoteric archives. System event, the Grand Deception. Performance evaluation in progress. Under the Ethereal Compact, currency claims are subordinate to leyline energy claims. My patron exercises his ancestral right. This is an elaborate fiction. The Argent Hand deals in tangible assets and demonstrable power, not theories. As does my patron. Lumina Electrum, silk woven with pure moonlight, an award of passage. My patron knows of your recent difficulties with the Red Lily Trading Company. He knows of the 3 missing shipments of Valerian steel from Saltwind Dock. He has no desire to add to your troubles. He asks only that you extend House Croft the same courtesy. The silence that followed was absolute. The arrow had hit its mark. How could a child know secret internal operations? A chasm of profound doubt opened beneath Malachi's feet. Do we have an agreement? The silence in the great hall was heavy and suffocating. Lord Alistair stared at his young son in complete disbelief. What are you? Who are you? Rena slipped inside carrying a pitcher, her knuckles white as she felt the crushing tension in the air. Young master, please be safe. Malachi, the cold agent of the Argent Hand, felt his constructed reality shatter into pieces. This child is either a herald or a monster that must be contained. With explosive speed, Malachi lunged across the room directly toward Alex. Stop. What are you doing? No. Stay away from him. Without a thought for her safety, Rena threw herself into the agent's path, throwing the pitcher aside. Out of my way, pest. Malachi swatted her aside, revealing a thin, wicked stiletto hidden in his sleeve. He's too fast. No leverage to block. Lethal intent verified. Execute counteroffensive immediately. Take this. Alex thrust the black carved stone warding amulet forward directly into the oncoming blade. The amulet shattered, releasing a toxic powder cloud while the deflected blade sliced Alex's shoulder. Arg. My eyes. What is this madness? Ahawk. The stoic persona shattered completely as agony tore from the young boy's throat. Armed guards burst through the hall doors. Blinded and defeated, Malachi fled into the shadows. Curse you, Croft family. Alex, someone call a maester. Quickly. Alex fell to his knees as the deadly neurotoxin spread cold darkness through his veins. System notifications illuminated his failing sight, declaring the complete field testing of all combat personas. Before he could comprehend the reward, a flashing red emergency alert overwrote his entire view. The price of victory was steep. As consciousness faded into total dark, Act 1 came to its end. The roaring in his ears ceased into total darkness. In that empty void, glowing blue text suddenly burned into existence. A frantic diagnostic scroll initiated. The emergency protocol isolated the lethal venom, temporarily stabilizing his failing vessel. Where am I? How long was I out? You are awake. Gods be good. You are finally awake, young master. 5 days on the brink of death. While the keep slowly recovered from shock, Alex turned his attention inward. A new protocol opened before his eyes. His body was failing, and the stats laid his core weakness bare. 10% of my life force capacity. It is a devil's bargain, but I have no choice. 2 weeks later, inside his locked room, Alex attempted the stance of the unmoving mountain. Hold the line, soldier. Pain is just weakness leaving the body. Let your mind be the fortress. I can't feel the ambient energy. Physical grit isn't enough for spiritual cultivation. Think. In my past life as an actor, I played wuxia hermits and martial arts masters. System. Access my archived actor memories and initiate archetype synthesis immediately. The memory streams merged. Tibetan mountain monasteries, incense smoke, and ancient breathing charts synthesized into a brand new persona. The serene cultivator is unlocked. Finally, I have the right weapon to forge my body anew. All right, kid, let's dance with the pain again. Show me you're not made of glass. With the serene cultivator active, ambient ether swirled like silver light. Ray forced his body into the unmoving mountain stance. It felt like pouring molten metal into veins of glass. Yet drop by agonizing drop, his life force capacity began to fill. A blue system prompt bloomed in his vision. Etheric consolidation was complete, yielding small but vital stat increases. It's the oddest thing, young master. Tiber the Fletcher closed his shop and left in the middle of the night without a word. One by one, syndicate operatives fled Greywood. Ray's bluff about an ancient magus had triggered a full strategic retreat. A lone rider arrived without a crest, dropping a sealed letter before departing immediately into the mist. Lord Alistair read the letter 3 times. Overcome with relief as the debt was cancelled, the proud nobleman wept silently. They are gone. The hand. They have relinquished the debt entirely. What did you tell their agent, boy? Who are you? I am your son. I was looking for a sword when the real power in this house was a whisper. Whispers of the Croft prodigy will soon reach powerful ears. I pray to the gods this peace lasts long enough for you to grow to be a participant, and not a pawn like your useless father. There is a regional academy branch nearby. I will exhaust every connection I have to get you enrolled. You need to grow stronger. Ray gave a deliberate nod. The crucible path had begun, leading him beyond Greywood Keep into a far larger and more dangerous world. The 2 years following the Argent Hand's silent retreat were the most peaceful Greywood Keep had seen in a generation. By day, I am the Lord's quiet, intelligent son, absorbing history and science at a prodigious rate. Lady Eileen had blossomed, restoring a sense of order and dignity to their house by managing the Keep's finances. Embrace it, kid. Make the pain your boring friend who won't shut up. You don't have to like him, you just have to learn to ignore him. The cultivator's gentle influence guided him to draw in motes of light and seal his life force. Meanwhile, Corbin endured a brutal crucible at the Citadel, honing his hatred into a dangerous weapon. Young master, I have the powdered river clamshells you asked for. May I ask what a scholar needs with such things? It's for an experiment I read about to make a cleaner ink. I am no longer dying. I am still weak, but I am a weapon being slowly forged in secret. They have all refused. Every last one. They offer flimsy excuses, but someone is poisoning the well against us. There is still the open examination for Solhaven City Academy, but competition will be fierce. The minimum age is 13, so you must display extraordinary talent to gain acceptance. I used the last of our gold to hire a private tutor from the guild's capital branch to prepare you. A sudden lucky break from the capital guild? The game of shadows is about to begin again. A week passed in quiet, anxious anticipation. The tutor from the capital was arriving, bringing hope to my father, but a blade to my neck. I spent every moment shoring up my grand deception, staring into my reflection in the dark library table. At 9, after the stabbing, I was a gaunt creature with white pale hair and sickly skin. Now, at 11, the crucible path has forged a tempered weapon. My deception and performance skills are now instinct. I stood by the library window as a carriage bearing the Scholars Guild crest rolled into the courtyard. The scholar is the main event, kid, but the other one. He's a blank page, and blank pages are always hiding something. Master Gideon, welcome to Greywood Keep. This is my wife, Lady Eileen, and our son, Ray. A pleasure, my lord. And this must be the prodigy I have heard so much about. And this is my indispensable assistant, Jonas. He ensures my head remains attached while my thoughts are in the clouds. Jonas gave a simple, deferential bow without a word. The name was logged. The players were set. If a man steals a loaf of bread to feed his starving family, is his action just or unjust? The law of the kingdom calls it unjust, but a priest calls it sacred, and a hunter sees only hunger. Which law matters most? Brilliant. You analyzed the very premise of the question. Your mind is even more fascinating than reports suggested. For weeks I absorbed his formal political theory and rhetoric, being armed by the very man sent to investigate me. Then he turned to old magic. The legends of House Lumina hint at ethereal weaving. Common myths say they used moonlight, a childish fantasy. Forbidden texts from the Lyceum hint that the true catalyst was purified starlight, focused through meteorite crystals. A lightning bolt of information. A detail that made my fabricated lore seem amateurish. I filed it away in secret. While I danced with Gideon, Jonas played a quiet ghost. He polished silver cups while catching mirror reflections of the entire room. As he left, his hand formed a subtle sign, thumb pressed to middle and ring fingers. A coded signal of the Argent Hand. Confirmation. I sat in the library long after they left, as the setting sun cast long blood-red shadows across the floor. I am juggling an expert who could expose my lies, and a silent spy watching my every breath. One missed cue means death. Weeks under Master Gideon's tutelage passed in a blur of intense focus. A subtle Cold War brewed between the boy and his watchers. The principle of ethereal resonance you mentioned is fascinating, Ray. Did your patron mention how they overcame harmonic decay? I need another prop, an impossible piece of evidence to break his skepticism once and for all. He's sniffing at our heels. Gideon isn't buying theory anymore. We need a hook, a miracle disguised as a secret. Optics. A camera obscura to focus light onto a translucent plane. Elementary physics. But to him, magic. It's a target on our backs. The assistant is already prowling the halls. One slip, and we end up in a shallow grave. Moving through the shadows like a ghost, the boy gathered a small wooden jewelry box, a thin tin sheet, and a needle. Footsteps echoed down the hall. Pressed into a stone alcove, he watched the assistant trace a chalk mark along the wall, a secret patrol sign. The keep is under active surveillance by an entire network. I have to hurry. With meticulous precision, he pierced a tiny pinhole into the tin sheet, mounting it over the box with a parchment screen inside. My patron does not bend the light. He says the light bends itself, for those who know how to watch. Behold, an oracle box. It is a wooden box with a hole in it. Ray, what am I supposed to see? Point the hole at the courtyard and look inside, but shield your eyes from the sunlight. What is this sorcery? An inverted moving projection without any mana or runes. It is not sorcery, Master Gideon. It is merely watching. Gideon's skepticism was annihilated. The gilded lie was reinforced, proving the magus possessed knowledge beyond Ethelgard's wildest comprehension. For an entire month, young Ray engaged in an intense mental chess match with his tutor, Master Gideon. Your grasp of high philosophy is astounding, yet your simple questions baffle me, Ray. Ray knew the real threat wasn't the scholar, but Jonas, the quiet assistant who was secretly an operative. He's watching every move. I need to force his hand and expose the viper. Ray crafted a fake coded message with random runic script and dropped it near Jonas's patrol route. This fake code will look like secret intelligence from my patron. Now, the trap is set. Oh no, Master Gideon, I dropped my note with the ancient script in the hall. Stay here. I will go find it myself before anyone else sees it. Master Gideon, is something amiss? Nothing, Jonas. Just a misplaced page of the boys. Continue with the tea. Unable to resist acquiring secret intelligence, Jonas attempted a swift pickpocket maneuver. Jonas, what are you doing? My apologies, Master. My employers have a deep interest in your students' unique curriculum. The Argent Hand. You dare use my research as a cover for their filth? Jonas dropped the tea tray with a shatter, pulling a deadly hidden blade from his sleeve. Silence, old man. Scutum. Gideon traced magical runes in the air, creating a glowing blue shield that deflected the deadly strike. Ray watched the magic unfold, unlocking a new arcane skill within his system. Mana-based structured magic, it's incredible. Jonas shifted targets, sprinting toward the door to attack Ray. Thinking instantly, Ray hurled a massive, heavy tome. Take this. Vinculum. Seizing the opening, Gideon wove magical chains of blue light that tightly bound the assassin to the floor. Master Gideon. Ray, what happened here? It is over, Rena. The traitor has been subdued. You faced an assassin with impossible calm and saved my life. I only did what was necessary, Master. Gideon's academic curiosity transformed into fierce loyalty. He now knew his only duty was to protect Ray at all costs. Where? We need a place to hold him. Somewhere quiet where your father won't look. The old root cellar. The latch is rusted shut to the casual eye. It's deep, and it's soundproof. Lead the way. Rena, ensure my father remains occupied. Tell him you are cleaning up a mess made by a stray cat. Buy us time. Getting the magically bound spy down to the root cellar was a feat of grim determination. They propped him against the damp stone, tethered tightly to a heavy beam. He is an agent of the Argent Hand. He used me and my work as a cover to spy on you. The artifacts, the rumors, it was all real. This magus of yours, he is real? My patron knew the Argent Hand would not let the matter rest. He knew they would send someone, though he did not anticipate they would be so direct. You think you've won, you little freak? You and this dusty old fool. You have no idea what you've provoked. The Hand will tear this keep down stone by stone to get to you. You will tell us what you know. I will tell you nothing. My loyalty is not so easily broken. Master Gideon, allow me. You're right. We have provoked a great power. We are in terrible danger. My patron is old. He does not think in years, but in centuries. He finds your organization tiresome, like a termite infestation in an ancient oak tree. You think loyalty is a shield, but the Hand purchases loyalty. And when an asset fails as spectacularly as you have, it is discarded. What will Malachi's report say? Will he report you were defeated by a boy throwing a book? Or that you were overwhelmed by a magus's power? They've already cut you loose, Jonas. Lies. The Red Lily Trading Company was loyal too, right up until the Hand liquidated their assets. Loyalty is a commodity, Jonas, and yours is now worthless. What do you want? Interrogation successful. The professional operative's cold resolve crumbled into total defeat. Now, Master Gideon, I believe it is time for us to begin our real interrogation. The flickering candlelight cast long, dancing shadows across the damp stone root cellar. Jonas, the once composed agent, slumped against a wooden support beam, his face pale and dripping with sweat. Let us begin again, Jonas. My patron is patient, but his patience has limits. He wishes to understand the full scope of the hand's interest in my house. My mission, after Malachi's failure, the curators were in disarray. My orders were to maneuver Master Gideon into accepting the post and observe you, to determine if you were the source or merely a herald. You used my life's work as a common spy's cover? And what did you conclude? You are an anomaly. You have the mind of a sage, but the body of a child. You show no magical aura, yet impossible artifacts appear around you out of nowhere. Who is your direct superior? Do you truly believe your mind is a safer place for that name than your tongue? Her name is Vesper. She operates out of a tavern called the Gilded Cage in the capital city of Luminous. Vesper and the curators have already abandoned you. Your life means nothing to them now, but my patron is intrigued by things others discard. Give us a reason to preserve your life. It was never just about debt. Years ago, flag dossiers identified your wasting sickness as an unstable connection to primeval ether. They believe this keep sits on an ancient magical locus, and you are the key. So they haven't retreated at all. They have just regrouped. They will be back with force. Yes, they will send an acquisitions team to take this keep by force if necessary. Inside Ray's mind, a spectral conman persona chuckled, offering a daring solution. When the con is about to blow up in your face, you change the venue. Soulhaven Academy was no longer an honor, but a necessity. He knows too much, Ray. He cannot be allowed to live. No, we will not kill him. Master Gideon, can you modify your vinculum spell into a somnus ward to keep him asleep? A somnus ward? It is complex, but yes. I can create a magical confinement that keeps him asleep and compliant. Do it. Rena, come down here. Jonas will be our guest. You, and only you, will bring him water and a little food each day. No one else can know he is here. Not my father, not my mother. Do you understand? I understand, young master. Rena looked at the defeated spy, then back at the 11-year-old boy who radiated authority, eclipsing even his father. She nodded, accepting the dangerous secret. Ray looked at his strange new counsel, a master scholar, a loyal servant, and a captured enemy spy. A mad alliance forged in darkness. The war with the Argent Hand had entered a new phase, and Ray Croft was no longer alone. The morning after Jonas's capture, the root cellar was transformed into a makeshift magical laboratory. Check his pockets again. The left inner pocket. A folded parchment floated from the captive's coat. He had sent his backup away to hog all the glory. Watch closely, Ray. The somnus ward creates a fog over the target's short-term memory upon waking. Glowing blue lines of mana coalesced into a complex sigil, sinking into the prisoner's forehead. What if the mnemonic obscurant was amplified to full intensity while the sleep field was a mere catalyst? You don't just wipe the slate clean, kid. You paint a new picture, a story they'll believe. My patron spoke of a forbidden art to rewrite the page. He called it the offer of oblivion. You speak of high-level mental theory as if it were a parlor trick. It could actually work. That night, they descended to perform the ritual, projecting a pure false narrative into the target's mind. He found nothing at Greywood, and was attacked by a beast on the road. The modified spell took hold seamlessly. The system rewarded the audacious innovation. Inspired result. Arcane syntax manipulation unlocked innate skill, spellcrafting. Ugh, my head. That terrifying beast on the road. When Jonas awoke, he remembered nothing of his capture. The enemy's agent was now their puppet. So we are in agreement then? Soulhaven Academy is our best option? Indeed. The Academy offers protection through visibility. They can't easily erase a public student. It's risky, young master, but hiding you away would be riskier still. This was my mother's signet ring. Allow it to serve as your lucky charm. Ray threaded the heavy white gold falcon ring onto a leather cord, wearing it beneath his tunic. Going off to play with real nobles, little brother? Don't forget my efforts were meant to save this house. Ray met his brother's arrogant glare with an unervingly calm silence that rattled Corbin completely. A signal stone. Hold it while thinking of me, and its twin will grow warm if you ever need me. 2 carriages waited in the cool morning courtyard. The journey to the capital and academy was beginning. Make us proud, son. His father clapped him on the shoulder, an awkward, firm gesture that spoke volumes. It's time, Rena. I'm right behind you, young master. Whatever comes next. He took one last look at the crumbling stone of Greywood Keep, the only home he had known. With the secret weight of his mother's ring against his chest, he faced the road ahead. The journey had finally begun. Gideon and the blank-faced Jonas boarded their carriage. The memory-wiped agent took his place, eyes devoid of terror. Until our paths cross again in Luminous, young master. Be safe, my brave boy. Make the House of Croft proud. I will, father. Mother, do not worry. Ray climbed into his carriage where Rena waited. As the doors shut, Greywood Keep faded behind them forever. Unfolding Gideon's map of Eldoria, Ray gazed out at the breathtaking green world passing outside the glass window. Fascinating. We are leaving the Whispering Hills, a provincial backwater of ancient ruins. Our destination, Soulhaven, is a trade nexus. Its academy focuses on law and statecraft, a new battlefield. You look as though you've never seen a tree before, young master. None so ancient. Halt. Look up at the canyon cliffs. Quiet now? Ah, what is that creature? By night, Ray endured agonizing training in secret, fusing veteran endurance with cultivator precision. As the carriage entered dense, dark woods, the birdsong abruptly ceased. A sudden eerie silence fell. Stay sharp. The forest is far too quiet. Bandits, stay inside the carriage, my lord. Oh heavens, look at that cart. The attack was clumsy. The wreckage is too concentrated. These are desperate amateurs, not pros. Classic ambush point. Road narrows. Trees give perfect cover. The wreckage is bait to halt us. They are in the trees right now, watching our every move. Bandits? Here? So close to the main regional territories? The heavy silence of the King's Road was broken only by the nervous shuffle of horses around the splintered wooden cart wreckage ahead. The bait is set. The guards are focused on the wreckage. The attack will come from the trees on the flanks. Bandits, form a shield line. Protect the carriage. Over 15 desperate bandits flooded from the forest, crashing into the 4 household guards like a violent tidal wave. As the defense began to crumble under sheer numbers, the young boy initiated concurrent partial immersion, calling upon 2 internal personas at once. Sergeant Bourne, back to the carriage. Use the wheels as a choke point. Left flank, pull back now. You heard him. Back to the carriage. Form on me. Precision and authority overrode confusion. The guards instantly executed the tactical order, retreating toward the heavy wooden wheels. Joran, your shield is gone. Get under the axle. Use your dagger. Go for their legs. The guard rolled beneath the heavy axle in an instant. Seconds later, a charging bandit collapsed with a cry as a hidden blade struck from the shadows below. The leader is the big one with the horned helmet. Take him out, and the rabble will fold. Show him he's not fighting who he thinks he is, kid. Demoralize him. Rena, my bow now? Fumbling in terror, the maid handed him a small wooden practice bow and a quiver of target arrows. Knocking a simple target arrow, the young lord drew the bowstring back. Guided by muscle memory and cold calculation, he aimed not for the chest, but for the leader's pride. The arrow sailed through the air in a high arc, plunging deep into the dirt directly between the bandit leader's boots with impossible precision. Fall back. Retreat into the forest. Move. His bravado shattered by the display of unnatural contempt and pinpoint skill, the leader turned and fled, his scattered men breaking after him like frightened ghosts. Host successfully assumed command under extreme duress. Tactical assessment plus 20%, performance plus 15%. Unlocked skill, command aura. Young lord, how did you? The sudden silence on the forest road was deafening. The frantic cries of the bandits vanished into the dark woods. It's over, we actually survived. Young master, how did you know how to direct the guards like that? Joran, status report. Give me an update now. Alive, Sarge. Just a scratch on my calf. How? You're just a boy. How did you know to hold the carriage choke point and target their leader? Master Theron taught me the shield line basics. The carriage acts as a natural fortress. And Master Gideon taught me the unification wars. Bandits have no real command structure. If the main bully shows fear, the entire mob breaks and runs. Your assessment was correct, my lord. You have our sincere thanks. Performance evaluation, adept. Host successfully satisfied a suspicious subordinate and cemented his new authority. Ack, the blood won't stop. My shoulder. We need to bind that wound properly, or he'll bleed out right here on the dirt road. Rena, fetch the water skin, clean linen, and the bottle of wine immediately. We must sanitize and pack the wound. Do exactly as the young master says. Move. Pour the wine directly into the gash to act as an antiseptic. Joran, apply firm pressure right above the cut to slow the bleeding. Skill unlocked. Calming presence. Radiate an aura of clinical serenity that de-escalates panic and forces targets to focus on survival. They made camp a mile down the road in a defensible clearing. The easy camaraderie was gone, replaced by respectful distance. They look at you differently now, Ray. They fear you. But I was afraid for you. When you spoke, your voice and eyes belonged to a total stranger. I worry this heavy burden will crush the kind boy inside. I will be careful, Rena, I promise. He wanted to unburden himself, to let his true self speak. But the secret was too dangerous to share. The weight of command, he was learning, was a profoundly lonely burden. The morning sun rose bright and unforgiving over the King's Road. casting sharp light on the aftermath of yesterday's bloody battle. My lord, Torvin's fever has broken. The wound is clean. Your medical methods worked. We scouted the road ahead. No sign of remaining bandits. We are ready to move on your command. Your experience leads us, Sergeant. I am glad my studies were of some use, but your knowledge of these roads is our true shield. I will trust entirely in your judgment for the rest of our journey. As you say, my lord. Ray found Rena by a quiet stream where she was washing blood-stained cloth, her movements stiff and full of distant fear. Rena, young master, you're afraid of me. I was afraid, too. When that attacker came, I thought I was going to die. Something happens inside me when I'm in danger. Someone cold takes over, and it scares me. Oh, Ray, you are not a monster. You are a good, kind boy. Whatever this fury is, we will face it together. I won't let it consume you. Skilled application detected. Event, emotional reconciliation. Performance evaluation, adept. Mastery gain in acting plus 15%. The travel continued past rolling plains and farmland as they joined bustling merchant caravans and travelers on the road. Cresting a tall hill after another week of journeying, the grand panorama of Solhaven opened up beneath them. Passing through the city gates, they were immediately engulfed in the noisy, energetic currents of urban life. So that is Solhaven Academy, the final destination of my journey. I survived the wilds and the bandits, but the jungle ahead will be far more dangerous. The city of Solhaven greeted them with a deafening roar of life, a stark contrast to the quiet halls of Greywood. So many people. I've never seen a crowd like this. So much information. Through the bustling market, Sergeant Boren walked alongside them like an impenetrable wall of steel. Keep close, young master. This city is full of sharp eyes and hidden blades. At the crest of the hill stood Solhaven Academy, a grand complex surrounded by formidable iron gates. It's grander than I imagined. This is a place where we are judged not by survival, but by status. Inside the administration building, they were brought before the Academy Registrar, Master Lorien. Yes? What business brings House Croft to my office? My lord, Ray Croft of Greywood presents himself for consideration for the entrance examinations. House Croft. He is 11, correct? The minimum age is 12. Examination slots are exceptionally full with applicants from more prominent houses. I doubt we can accommodate him. It was a polite, bureaucratic execution, a quiet closing of doors. Seeing Sergeant Boren's anger rise, Ray stepped forward, activating his persona skills. Master Registrar, we understand the Academy's precious resources are limited. My father believes a great institution exists to cultivate potential wherever found. An empty examination slot is logistics. An empty mind is a tragedy. The absolute silence in the office was deafening as Master Lorien stared in shock at the boy. A very bold sentiment indeed. It seems the rumors of a prodigy were not baseless. System notification, rhetorical performance evaluation inspired. Deception mastery capstone reached. Unlocked. Academic parry and the understudy protocol. You wish to prove your mind is not empty? We shall have a preliminary test right here, right now. Labeled red stones, blue stones, and mixed stones. Here is the riddle. Every single label is a lie. You may open one chest and pull out a single stone. Based on that, tell me what is in every chest. You have 60 seconds. Ray stared at the 3 chests. His future and the success of his entire grand deception rested on this single choice. Every label is guaranteed to be false. The answer is already hidden in plain sight. The 3 chests lie before you, Lord Croft. Every label is an absolute lie. Choose wisely. Behind Ray, Rena clenched her hands in anxiety, while Sergeant Boren stood stiffly, hand resting on his sword. Premise: all labels are false. Opening red or blue leaves variables unresolved. Failure probability high. It's a shell game, kid. Look at the mixed box. If that label is a lie, what can it be? It cannot contain mixed stones. Opening mixed eliminates ambiguity entirely. The problem is fascinating, Master Registrar, but the solution lies in the labels themselves. Since mixed is a lie, it must be pure. Drawing a red stone proves this chest contains only red. The chest labeled blue cannot be blue nor red. Thus, by elimination, it holds mixed stones, which leaves only one possibility for the final chest. It must contain the blue stones. Remarkable. The examination slot is yours, Lord Croft. Report to the main hall in 2 weeks. Cascade of blue text bloomed in Ray's mind. Event logical deduction under pressure. Performance inspired. Later at the Scholar's Rest, Ray lay on his bed as quiet settled over the room. A new system window expanded. Mastery capstone reached. Deception 100%. Unlocking the understudy protocol. The protocol allowed transferring skill potential to a trusted ally. Ray immediately thought of loyal Rena. I can't protect everyone alone. But with this understudy protocol, I can build my own team. The adrenaline from the intense confrontation with Master Lorien faded slowly, leaving behind the sweet, quiet taste of hard-won victory inside the quiet and sweet. A revolutionary new system feature, the understudy protocol, hummed in his mind, opening possibilities far beyond solitary strength. He looked across the room at Rena, his most loyal companion who had stood by him through deadly perils. Rena, what happened today was just the beginning. The world outside is dangerous, and I worry about you. You need not worry about me, young master. It is my duty to care for you. It is more than duty now. My patron has granted permission to share a piece of my gift to help keep you safe. Share your gift? Young master, that sounds like high magic. It is an ancient art. It will not harm you, but simply alert you when danger is near. The choice is yours. I trust you implicitly, Ray. I accept. Reaching out, Ray gently placed his palm on Rena's forehead, triggering the system designation ritual. System, designate Rena as my understudy. Initiate resonance link, survival instincts. A massive spectral surge surged across the link, transferring decades of hard-earned tactical survival instincts into her mind. Everything feels so different. Sharper, like I can sense the world breathing. Ray stumbled backward against the wooden wall, gasping for air as the mental strain drained his focus. System windows bloomed before Ray's eyes, revealing Rena's stats alongside a hidden aptitude, latent empathic resonance. 2 days later in the crowded Solhaven market, a sneaky thief targeted Rena, stealthily reaching for her purse. Did you feel that sudden cold breeze? Just the wind. When you feel that chill, stop and observe. Trust the feeling, it will keep you safe in the trials ahead. On the eve of the entrance examinations, Ray stood looking toward the Grand Academy resting on the hill, ready for the future.